Today we're going to be taking a look at a serious contender for the best airsoft gun under $200. If you're looking for a gun with sleek externals, forward-thinking internals with design features that honestly should be on a much more expensive airsoft gun and a gearbox to match, we'll look no further than the Classic Army KM12. We'll be taking a look at this airsoft gun in today's review. What's up, airsofters? My name is Lane, and welcome back to the BB Warrior. We're here to help you have a better time both on and off the airsoft field through our educational content, and if you enjoy videos like these, well, I'd love it if you joined our community by hitting that subscribe button down below, and while you're at it, make sure to hit that bell icon next to it for updates when we post brand new videos every single Friday here on the channel. Now, I was really excited to take a look at this gun from Classic Army because when I first got into airsoft about a decade ago, they were one of the only offerings on the market. And I was really curious, well, how does Classic Army stand up to its competitors today in 2019? Well, really well, actually. So before we get into the review, I want to say a huge thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Fox Airsoft, for providing this gun for the review. Now, even though this is a sponsored video, that will not affect my opinions of this rifle at all, but why don't we talk about the externals of this rifle first? Something that I think that Classic Army has learned with their experience being in the airsoft industry is that it doesn't matter how excellent of the externals you have. You could have the best externals in the world that rival a real firearm. If you don't have good internals to match it up, then it's not a good airsoft gun. And I think that's really the ideology that they put behind this gun. So most of the externals are going to be a really nice polymer. That is going to include your KM handguard, we'll talk about that more in a minute, the lower and upper receiver, the stock, obviously, pistol grip. So what is metal on the external of this gun? Well, you know, you've got some bits for the magazine release. The outer barrel is going to be metal, as well as the buffer tube, which is good because this is a really high stress point on a lot of rifles, and a lot of rifles in the same price point decided to go with plastic. I think that metal was a great decision by Classic Army for the buffer tube. As small as a detail as that may sound, I've seen a lot of broken buffer tubes before on some more entry to intermediate level guns. Now, I do want to talk about the KM handguard for a minute, because this uses airsoft spec KM. This is one of those things that I think that they shouldn't have cut corners on, in all honesty, because it doesn't allow you to use real KM accessories. Do you have a BCM foregrip you want to throw on this? Can't, unfortunately. You're going to have to buy a rail adapter. So while they do include two rail pieces for this gun, which is a really nice feature if you're going to do this sort of thing, I think that they could have spent the extra couple of dollars to make sure that the rail was actual KM. It's an open source system. It's one of those things that I wish the airsoft industry would put behind it. And this isn't just Classic Army. Other companies like G&G did this with some of their newer combat machines. It's one of those things that I've really never been a fan of. However, they were nice enough to include some rail segments, so you can put on, you know, a flashlight, a foregrip, anything like that. Rounding out the externals, though, you do have a Picatinny rail all the way from the end of the receiver to the end of the rail, which is nice. You do have their flip-up iron sights, which kind of resemble the ones from Troy. Overall, while the externals are nothing to write home about, I think that they're still really good for the price point of this gun. Nothing creaks or anything like that on this gun, and I am in love with the pistol grip. This is something that they took from their more expensive line, and it's so much more comfortable than the A2 pistol grip that you'll find on a lot of other guns at this price point. Now, talking about the internals, again, a really forward-thinking feature that they decided to do. I'll pop open with the actually really cool charging handle. I forgot to mention that. There's a rotary hop-up inside this gun. That's a really good feature for an airsoft gun that is under $200. Now, it does not lock back, or the fake bolt does not lock back, excuse me, so as soon as you let go of that, it will fly forward. However, I think that that's, again, just a really forward-thinking feature of Classic Army. Now, where I think this gun really shines is the ECS gearbox and the control system that they have in here. So this gun has a MOSFET, which is a great deal for under $200. You're getting a MOSFET. But let's see if you guys can hear this real quick. There's no battery in the gun. You guys hear that? Kind of sounds like a mouse clicking, right? Well, that is the micro switch trigger that is installed in this gun, which means that you're going to have fantastic trigger response. Combined with that flat trigger that is in there, you are going to be able to get a really snappy rate of fire off with this gun if you're using a good enough battery. Now, this gun does include a 9.6 and a standard wall charger. I would recommend that if you're going to be serious about playing airsoft, pick up at least a 7.4 and a LiPo smart charger. This gun can handle an 11.1 because it does have a MOSFET belt inside. However, you'll be fine with a 7.4. And again, if you move up to a LiPo, you're going to have a little bit slightly higher rate of fire. You're going to be able to get a better trigger response when you're on semi-automatic, things like that. Now, what I like about the ECS system that Classic Army has is that it allows you to program the trigger a little bit. So what you can do with it you can set it to actually 3 and 5 round burst. So you're not just limited to full and semi-automatic. If you want to have that sort of thing, it's always fun playing around with the 3 round burst because you gotta like guarantee they're gonna hit someone if you shoot at them rather than watching one BB just sail and then fly off on the side right before it hits them. So that's always a really cool feature. It's one of those things that not a lot of companies do anymore. And I really applaud Classic Army for keeping that sort of thing in their airsoft guns because I've always found it to be a neat little feature that is built in. But overall, the gearbox on this gun is solid. It shoots about 350 or so FPS with a .20 gram BB. I will have the Joule equivalency up here on screen. So that means that you can take this gun to indoor. And I gotta say, especially with this flat trigger and the it's just a really fun gun to use indoors. Now, I wish I had some gameplay for you guys, but if you've watched my channel before, you know that I have the worst possible luck with GoPros. My case actually broke, which was the oddest thing. So unfortunately, I don't have any gameplay for the background of this video. However, with the barrel and hop-up setup that is in here, you're going to easily be able to reach 150 feet, 175 feet if you're using good BBs. That's, again, one of those things that when you're getting an airsoft, make sure that you're using high-quality BBs. Use HPA, Elite Force, G&G, those sort of brands out there because they're going to guarantee you the best performance. And if you're going to buy a good airsoft gun like this, you might as well go ahead and spend the extra money on, getting good BBs to throw in it. You're not going to throw standard gas into a sports car, are you? Overall, I think that Classic Army did a really great job with this airsoft gun. It has a lot of features that you would find on a more premium airsoft gun, guns that would be, $200, $300, $350, even going up to like $400. You'd find features that are on those guns in a package that, again, you can find for about $185. So overall, I think that Classic Army did a great job. I think that the externals aren't the best out there. However, they are more than good enough. It's really light. It doesn't creak like a lot of the older airsoft guns that are made out of plastic. I know that a lot of people, when they hear plastic body, they're like, oh, the gun must be garbage then. But honestly, this is a really nice plastic body. It's one of the nicer ones that I've seen out there. And again, there's no creaks or wobbles or anything like that. It's a very solidly built airsoft gun. And I think that they really did the right thing by putting most of the money for this gun into the gearbox, especially with that ECS system. This is going to be a fantastic gearbox. And if you're the type of guy that wants to get good trigger response, this is going to be a great platform for you. You're going to be able to get a lot of snappy shots off with that flat trigger. And overall, I think that Classic Army really nailed it out of the park for its price point. So again, huge thanks to Fox Airsoft for sending me this gun to review. While it does have some small quirks and things that I would personally change about it, especially the Keymod handguard or the Keymod handguard, I think that this is just an overall good airsoft gun for its price point. If you'd like to pick it up, again, there will be links in the description below to where you can pick it up by itself or with one of Fox Airsoft's beginner packages, which you can check out as well. But if you enjoyed today's video, I'd love it if you joined our community, bring that subscribe button down below, and while you're at it, make sure to hit that bell icon next to it for updates when we post brand new videos every single Friday here on the channel. Make sure to follow me on social media. Links are down in the description below to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But my name is Lane, and I have been reviewing the Classic Army KM12, and I will see you all next time.